Okay, I just pulled over on the side of the road to take my chains off, and that's the first time I ever had to chain up. Once I was chained up by a tow truck driver in Denver a couple months ago, but woo, that's the first time I did it myself. I would say 95% I did by myself, and then another driver connected the last chain and then put bungee cords on. Those bungee cords come in handy, I'm telling you. Try to have bungee cords with you, the rubber kind, because without those things on there, like last time, my chains would have came off. So he showed me, I see people crossing their bungees, but he threaded his. He threaded the bungee through my chains. I don't know, I should have took a picture or some kind of video of it. Well, the view alone is enough. Now the speed limit is 55. I'm doing 55 down this sucker. I still have my Jake brakes on level 2. Currently, I'm 53 minutes away from my pickup or the shipper or my load. It's a lot of different ways people say, drivers say, well, a lot of different terminology. For me, it's quicker to say pickup, but I'm headed to the shipper. The shipper is where you're picking up from, and the consignee or consignee. Some people say consignee. I say consignee. That's the person you're taking the load to. The drum beat sound that you just heard is one of the indicators on the newer trucks to keep you from going into crossing the line, crossing the center line, which is the yellow line, or the white line, which is the berm. Or the side of the road. It's so many different words. you people choose to use when you're out here. Long as you all can understand each other, that's all that matters. As long as you know what you're supposed to do and what your job is, it does. That's all that matters. Another word for consignee is receiver. So you're picking up from the shipper and you're taking it to the receiver, and the receiver is basically they are receiving the load that you picked up. And load, another word for load is freight. I'm trying to think of those are the only two words that I know. What you're carrying is freight or your load. You're either loaded or empty. And anytime you're afraid, even going slow, anytime you're afraid, you feel that sickening feeling in your chest or weird feeling in your chest or tightening of your chest, take deep breaths. Breathe in deep until you feel your rib cage expand. Hold it, then let go. Keep doing that until that tightening feeling goes away, and then it's like, oh, okay, I got this. But as long as you feel that tightening feeling, that's fear. So breathe that fear right on out of you. Sometimes before I start, and I know it's going to be crazy, it's like I take in 10 deep breaths till my rib cage expand from my lungs being fully inflated. And that's with anything, not just truck driving. You can turn that setting off. I'm going to turn it off right now. So if I cross the line a little bit, it doesn't matter. I'm wide awake. I had a good 15 hours of sleep. Actually, yeah, about 10 to 15 hours. My downtime was total 18 hours. When I put my chains back up on the chain rack, they're not put on there properly. They're hanging down a little but not dragging the ground. So once I get to a safe, dry place, I'm going to take those two chains off, stretch them out, and put them back on.
Speed warning.
Okay, that's my GPS. I call him Jack. He's telling me I'm going too fast, and I just looked down and I'm doing 60 miles an hour. Speed limit is 55, so gotta slow it down. And all I have to do basically is let up off of the accelerator, and it kicks in the jake brakes. engine braking, and it automatically starts to slow me down. Look at this beauty. The wind is starting to pick up. I'm pulling an empty trailer. It's above freezing now. It's 37 degrees, but still it's wet out here. So I'm gonna slow it down to about 50. Look at that. All those Christmas trees. Imagine all of those decorated. That would be a sight to see. Just decorated with lights. I always slow down before going into a curve, wet or dry. Starting to snow, mixed with a little sleet. I'm 42 minutes away from my pickup point, and 36 miles, total 36 miles away. hitting this curve at 45 miles an hour, starting to pick up speed as I come through it. I have better control. For me, I have better control. This is the way I drive. I'm not telling you to drive like this or you should drive like this. This is the way I drive. Like, see this curve coming up? And it's wet out here too. I lift up right here, let the Jake brake slow me down, press on the brake just a little bit. Now I'm accelerating. Snow ahead. Trying to get through it. Once I pick up, I could spend the night in the shipper's yard, in their lot, if the weather is too bad, because I have all of my emergency aids. I have food, I have a couple cases of water, plus 2 gallons of water, distilled water. I have 3/4, a little over 3/4 tank of fuel. We don't say gas because it's diesel, so it is called either diesel or fuel. If you say, oh, I gotta put gas in my truck, no, it's not true, because we don't use gasoline. Not on these, not on the majority of company commercial fleets. We're going back into the shit. Temperature is starting to drop, so I'm gonna go as fast and far as I can go. I'm almost there. So the thing is because the weather isn't too bad, I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna try to get there. But if it was like worse than what it was back there for me, I will pull over, find a safe place to pull over. So I might be able to get through all of this. I might be able to pick up my load and leave, depending on my route. I just know I don't want to chain up anymore. It's not the fact of chaining up. It's if you have to chain up, that means the roads are really dangerous for you to be driving. I think I have my fill this year. That lane warning indicator. I think
widening road ahead.
Once you turn it off, it stays off for like 20 miles or 20 minutes, something like that. So I just turned it off again. If you're getting sleepy, or if you've been driving longer than 4 hours, 5 hours, I wouldn't turn it off. Especially if you feel a little fatigued, a little tired. That's what fatigue means, a little tired. because that thing can save your life. If you turn it off because you're tired of hearing it and you're getting tired, then next thing you know, you can doze off to sleep and end up in another lane and in a ditch, or even worse. But I'm not the type that dwell on the worst. I'm dwelling on safety. A lot of companies will, hammer you with all sorts of craziness. And in orientation, you're watching videos of people that have been killed and dead on the road, and they're showing you all of this. I don't look at it. I know things like that can happen, so why, I don't need that stuck in my head and out here driving because, you end up manifesting it too. Well, not everybody, but some people. I know I do, so I watch. I don't watch that kind of stuff. In one company, they told me, I started looking down at the floor, and they got mad at me. They told me that I need to look. And I was like, no, I don't need to look. I know that this stuff happens. I've seen it in real life, so why do I have to? Because so you can know. No, I already know. Well, this is part of your hiring process. Well, then fire me. Because I'm not going to watch it.
Speed warning.
I would hate to be stuck out here in the middle of nowhere. Especially being alone in my truck, It's beautiful, but
In 2 miles, turn right on Dinosaur Diamond Prehistoric Highway, US 191.
that's just
Speed
the
limit reduced ahead.
continuation. I'm on 191. So what happens is it splits into two routes, I guess. So it's keeping me on the 191. I like the fact that the snow is still mainly up in the air. It's just starting to come down, giving me an opportunity to get to the shipper. Speed limit dropping down to 40. Engine brake is restricted
Speed
for the
limit
next
reduced ahead.
mile, so I have to turn off my jake brakes because I'm coming into a town. a populated town, that is. I'm still in Duchesne or Duchesne.
In a half mile, turn right on Dinosaur Diamond Prehistoric Highway, US 191.
Okay, the 191. It doesn't end here, it just shifts in a different direction. Where that Swift truck just passed, that's where.
Turn right on Dinosaur Diamond Prehistoric Highway, US 191.
26 miles from my pickup. I'm gonna straddle this lane so I can swing it wide. Stay on this road for the next.
Continue on this road for 25 miles.
There you have it.
Speed warning.
Oh, this is 191 east. I was on 191 north.
Speed warning.
Speed limit is 45, but my GPS has not been updated.
Speed warning.
this and you see a truck coming towards you and it look like steam coming off his tires, best believe it's water, and it's dirty water. So it's better to have your windshield wipers, just turn them on, because when he splat, you don't want to turn them on and then they're trying to get a grip and smear and all of that stuff. Gonna have to rinse my ear out tonight really good. See, I left that off so you could see what would happen if you're not ready. And he was in a far lane. With four-wheelers that far away, it's just usually a